The BAFTAs situation has brought out so many little victims that I've decided to turn it into a series. So from now on, we will have a number of videos where we look at certain individuals who are discussing the BAFTAs scenario, who are playing victim, who are demanding an apology from a situation that they were not involved in to begin with. And who knows, maybe I will find something groundbreaking that will make me understand.
Can we talk about something that nobody wants to say out loud? Yes, the man has Tourette's. And yes, Tourette's can cause involuntary outbursts. That's a real medical condition that deserves some sort of understanding, right? But here's my question. Why are Black people always the ones that are expected to be understanding?
Starting off very strong there with the statement, it deserves to be understood. But why should I have to understand it? Well, that totally disregards the first thing you said for a start. Strong start, I must say, but I sense a little bit of victimhood coming out.
Why is it when racial slurs are said, the first conversation becomes, well, you should be understanding, instead of, wow, that must be painful to hear?
First of all, it wasn't painful for you to hear because you weren't called it. If you was offended, that is your choice to be offended, and you're welcome to be offended. But as I've said, it wasn't said to you. So you've made the choice. Don't make a choice to be offended by something and then behave like you're a victim. Secondly, that isn't how it usually goes. I think we're both aware this is a very unique situation where someone with a medical condition has said something out of their control. So this doesn't usually happen. I don't know why you're acting like every time someone says the N word, which you don't care when rappers say it, you're saying people make excuses. They very rarely do. In fact, this is the best excuse. The other excuse is if you say it, anyone can say it. You know, I'm willing to hear that.
The N word is not just a word, it carries slavery, lynching, Jim Crow, dehumanization, generational trauma. That weight doesn't disappear because the speaker didn't intend harm.
But the thing is, it carries none of those things for you because you wasn't there. It might have carried that meaning for a lot of people who went through a very horrible time back in history. But that doesn't appear via osmosis into your body and your soul. It's just not the case. You are choosing to be offended by this.
Intent and impact are not the same thing. And that is something that everyone needs to understand.
Exactly. His intent was not to harm you, and the impact was it did, which means it's not his fault. It's not his problem. It's you who got offended. You're welcome to be offended, but you just summed it up perfectly.
You can acknowledge a neurological disorder and say, that word is still violent, that word still hurts.
Side note, words are not violent. Words are words.
But somehow the emotional labor always shifts to us.
Us, she says, as though all black people are connected. Look, I've met some absolutely wonderful black people via this app. My first thought isn't to look at them and think, you are black. I just think they're wonderful people. But it just so happens that they are black, and this woman does not represent those people. This is why I can't stand it when people are referring to a skin colour and they use the term us, because it makes the assumption that all of a sudden all black people think exactly the way you do, and you don't have control over that, unfortunately.
Be patient, be gracious, be bigger, be calm. When do we get to just say that was harmful without being told to soften our responses?
You can say it was harmful, as many people are doing. No one's stopping you from that. But don't get angry when people call you out on being a little victim, saying that it doesn't actually affect you.
Compassion shouldn't be a one-sided thing. Empathy goes both ways, and black people are not required to absorb pain quietly just to make everybody else in the room feel comfortable.
So to summarise, what she's saying is it's not his fault, but it is his fault because he made her uncomfortable and she decided to take offence to the word that wasn't said to her. Quite unbelievably. And the reason she finds the word offensive is from a historical time that she did not exist in.